Have you ever wondered why certain people come into your life? Is it just luck, or is there something more? What if each person you meet has a special role in your story? Today, we're going on an exciting journey to discover the deep meanings behind our everyday meetings and friendships. This isn't just a quick look at who we meet, it's about really understanding the impact they have on our lives. We'll use the wisdom from Buddhism to explore how our relationships are not just random. We'll see how every person we encounter is an important part of our life's path. These connections shape us, teach us, and help us grow. By looking at Buddha's teachings, we'll learn how meeting others can teach us important life lessons. We have lots of interesting topics lined up. We'll talk about how some meetings might be meant to happen, the value of every friendship, and how being mindful helps us in our relationships. We'll share old stories and link them to things happening today. We'll also do activities that make you think about your own life and the people in it. I invite you to join in with an open mind and heart. Think about your own friends and what they've taught you. How have they helped shape who you are? This isn't just about listening. It's about reflecting deeply on your own experiences. This way, you're not just learning on your own, you become part of a community that wants to understand life better and find meaning in everyday things. Your likes and subscriptions help us reach more people with our messages. Stick with us to the end of this video. Each part builds on the last, giving you a full picture of why the people in our lives are there for a reason. You're about to start a journey that's full of insights, heart-warming stories, and ideas that might change the way you see the world. Let's start this adventure with open minds, ready to find the hidden meanings in the people we meet every day. 1. Predestined Encounters. Have you ever met someone and felt instantly that it was meant to be? This fascinating idea is what we're exploring in our first deep dive. In Buddhism, there's a belief that some meetings in our lives are not just by chance, but they have a deeper reason behind them. It's a thought that brings both wonder and comfort. Imagine stories from long ago where people meet at the perfect moment. These encounters often lead to big changes or lessons in their lives. For instance, a teacher appearing just when a student is ready. These aren't just old stories, they mirror a truth in our own lives. We meet people who teach us something new or give us a fresh perspective right when we need it most. The Buddha shared many insights about life, and one of them is about the purpose behind our encounters. He encouraged us to look closely at our relationships and learn from them. It's not about simply believing in destiny, it's about understanding the deeper links we share with others. People we meet can reflect parts of ourselves, challenge us, support us, or help us grow. Let's pause and think about our own experiences. Recall meeting someone unexpectedly. What did you learn from them? How did they influence your life, even in a small way? Reflecting on these questions helps us see the patterns in our encounters. Karma, a key concept in Buddhism, suggests that our actions have effects that come back to us. This idea can be connected to our encounters too. Maybe we meet certain people because of our past choices. This teaches us that our actions and decisions are powerful, shaping who we cross paths with. When we see our relationships as lessons rather than random events, our everyday interactions gain more meaning. Each person brings something special to our lives. Some may challenge us, but even difficult relationships can teach us about patience, understanding, and kindness. As we embrace this view, our daily talks and meetings become more valuable. We learn to be more mindful and present in our relationships. We start to see the role each person has in our journey. This understanding is comforting and empowering. It shows us that there's a reason behind every encounter, and every person we meet is part of our life's story. By being mindful in our interactions, we can appreciate the full impact of each relationship. Even short meetings can leave a lasting impression. Being present and mindful allows us to find lessons and joy in even the smallest conversations. To wrap up, think about the people around you now. Reflect on their roles and what they're teaching you. Take a moment, perhaps with a short meditation, to ponder these connections. This kind of reflection helps us appreciate the purpose and beauty in every meeting, enriching our daily lives with meaning and joy. 2. Value of every relationship. Let's explore a special idea in this part of our talk. Every person we meet has something to teach us. It's like Buddhism says, every meeting, short or long, is important. This thought helps us see the hidden gems in all our chats and friendships. Think about all the people you've met, your family, your friends, and even someone you talk to for just a minute. Each of these meetings, whether they're for a long time or just a second, can teach us something. We might learn to be kind, to wait patiently, or to see things from another point of view. This isn't a new idea. For a very long time, Buddhist teachings have told us how important all our connections are. They show us how each person we meet makes our lives richer. Now, let's think about how different people help us in different ways. A friend might be there to cheer you up. A person you work with could make you think in new ways. And someone you just met might give you a totally new idea. All these different meetings make our lives interesting and beautiful, like a picture made of many colored pieces. The Buddha told us to treasure these meetings. He said they're chances for us to learn and get better. Even when we meet people who are hard to get along with, there's something good to find. These meetings can be tough, but they often teach us a lot about who we are. They help us learn to be patient, to understand others, and to be strong. It's like making a rough stone smooth. Through these times we can grow into kinder, better people. Think about times when someone was kind to you. Maybe a stranger said something nice that made your day, or a friend did something really thoughtful when you were having a hard time. These kind moments are like gifts that show us how good people can be. Buddhism also teaches us that everything changes, even our friendships. This isn't a sad thing. It's a reminder to enjoy every moment and learn from everyone. Knowing that things don't last forever makes us value our time with people more and learn from every meeting. Now, let's think about what we give to other people. Just like we learn from them, we can teach and help the people we meet. It's like a road that goes both ways, where every chat or meeting is a chance to share and get something good. Paying close attention in our relationships helps us see how valuable they are. When we really focus on someone, we can understand and learn from them better. Being mindful when we talk, listen, or even when we're quiet together makes our connections stronger and our experiences richer. As we go through life, let's remember to stop and think about the people around us. What have they taught you? How have they been part of your story? Thinking about this helps us see how important every meeting is, filling our lives with thankfulness and wisdom. So, let's welcome every person we meet. See each one as a chance to learn, grow, and add to your life story. Remember, every person is part of your journey, teaching you and making your world more colorful in their own way. 3. Interconnectedness of all beings. Let's dive into a really important idea now, how we are all connected. This thought comes from Buddhism and tells us that everyone and everything in the world is linked together. It's like we're all part of a big family. This means we're not just walking through life by ourselves. Instead, we're part of a huge, complex world where everything and everyone is connected. Imagine a big, beautiful quilt. Each piece of fabric is necessary, and together they make a complete picture. In the same way, every person, every animal, and everything in nature is connected. What we do, think and feel doesn't just affect us, it touches the lives of others and the world around us. Knowing this helps us be careful about how we act and treat others. Buddhism shows us that understanding how connected we are can make us more caring. When we see that we're linked to others, we start to care more about what happens to them. It's like knowing that if one part of the quilt is pulled, the whole thing is affected. This helps our hearts grow bigger, letting us feel for others and see the world through their eyes. Think about the people you see every day, your family, friends, people you work with, and even people you just walk past. Every time we meet or talk to someone, it's like a ripple in a pond, spreading out and touching others in ways we might not realize. These moments are chances for us to be kind and make someone's day better. Being connected means trying to understand how others feel. This is called empathy. When we think about what someone else might be going through, we connect with them in a special way. This makes our relationships stronger and more understanding. Nature is part of this connection too. Trees, animals, rivers and mountains all have a role in our lives, just like we affect theirs. When we take care of nature, we're looking after our big family and keeping everything in balance. Buddhism also tells us that the choices we make are important. Every decision, like what we buy, what we eat, or how we talk to others, has an impact that goes beyond just us. Knowing this, we try to make choices that are good for everyone in this connected world. Sharing what we know and learning from others makes life richer. When we share stories and wisdom, we make the bonds between us stronger. Being mindful, or really paying attention to what's happening now, helps us see how we affect the world. This makes us more aware of our actions and helps us live in a way that's good for everyone. Feeling thankful is another part of being connected. When we appreciate the people and nature around us, we feel closer to them. This thankfulness fills us with peace and a sense of belonging. Let's practice seeing how we're connected in our everyday life. Look for ways you're part of the big picture. Be curious about how what you do affects not just you, but the whole world. This way of thinking makes life more meaningful and helps us understand our purpose better. In the end, understanding and living as if we're all connected makes us kinder, more understanding and responsible. It reminds us that we're part of something bigger, a beautiful story where everyone and everything has a part to play. Let's cherish these connections, knowing that each thought, word and action we have can make the world a better place for all of us. 4. The power of compassion in relationships. In this part of our talk, we'll look at how being compassionate can make our relationships better. Compassion is a big idea in Buddhism. It means understanding what others are going through and really wanting to help. It's like a warm, comforting light that can make our friendships and family ties stronger and more meaningful. Let's start by really understanding what compassion is. It's more than just feeling sorry for someone. It's about getting what they're going through and wanting to make it better. When we bring compassion into our relationships, we're not just being nice, we're connecting with people in a special way. Listening is a big part of compassion. It means not just hearing words, but also getting the feelings and thoughts behind them. This kind of listening brings us closer, opening up a path to more honest and caring connections. The Buddha, a wise teacher, talked a lot about how caring for others helps us too. When we show compassion, it makes us feel good and brings us closer to people. It fills our own hearts with happiness and peace. Think about times when someone was really there for you. Maybe a friend listened when you were upset, or a family member understood when you were struggling. Moments like these are powerful. They make us feel loved and supported, reminding us that we're not alone. Being compassionate means being patient and kind, even when it's not easy. Sometimes people can be tough to deal with, but responding with compassion can turn a hard situation into a chance to make the relationship stronger. In everyday life, little acts of compassion can mean a lot. A friendly word, a helping hand, or just a smile can brighten someone's day. These small things make our relationships better and more loving. Compassion also helps us when we disagree with someone. When we face conflicts with a compassionate heart, we're more likely to find understanding and solutions that work for everyone. It's about finding a kind way to get past differences. Buddhism tells us that compassion has a ripple effect. When we're kind to someone, it doesn't just affect them. They are more likely to be kind to others too. It's like a chain of goodness that keeps going. Being compassionate also means giving support when others are having a hard time. It's about being there for them without judging or rushing them and letting them know they're not alone. To become more compassionate, we can practice being aware of how we feel and react. The more we understand our own emotions, the better we can understand and feel for others. It's about opening our hearts and caring deeply for the people around us. In the end, compassion in relationships can really change things for the better. It builds understanding, heals hurts, and creates deeper connections. By filling our relationships with compassion, we make a circle of love and support, not just for others, but for ourselves too. Let's bring compassion into every conversation and meeting, making each relationship a journey of kindness and growth. 5. The role of mindfulness in relationships. Now let's talk about something really helpful in our relationships: mindfulness. Mindfulness is a big part of Buddhism. It's about being fully present in the moment, really aware of what we're thinking, feeling, and doing. When we bring mindfulness into our relationships, it can transform them in amazing ways. It makes us understand each other better and connect on a deeper level. Mindfulness starts with listening, but it's not just about hearing words. It's listening with your whole heart. When you really listen to someone, it shows them that they matter to you. This kind of listening makes our friendships and family ties stronger because it shows we really care. The Buddha taught a lot about being mindful. He said that when we're mindful in how we talk and act, we can make our time with others better and more meaningful. It stops us from just reacting without thinking and helps us be kinder and clearer in how we communicate. Think about when you've talked to someone, but your mind was somewhere else. Those conversations don't usually feel very good. But when we're really there, paying attention, even simple chats can be special and important. Being mindful also helps us understand our own feelings in our relationships. Sometimes we react quickly or get upset without really knowing why. If we're mindful, we can step back and think about what we're feeling. This helps make our relationships healthier and more peaceful. Mindfulness can help prevent misunderstandings and arguments. When we really know what we're thinking and feeling, we can talk more clearly. We're less likely to get the wrong idea or let our emotions take over, so we can solve problems better. In romantic relationships, mindfulness brings a new freshness and appreciation. By really being there, we can enjoy our time with our partner more. It's like seeing them in a new way and noticing the little things that make being together great. Mindfulness makes us more empathetic in how we talk to others. When we're mindful, we're better at understanding how other people feel. We can imagine being in their shoes, which makes us more caring and understanding. Mindfulness doesn't mean we won't have problems in our relationships, but it helps us deal with them better. We can face tough times with a calm mind, looking for ways to make things better for everyone. Starting to be more mindful in our daily life can be simple. It might be taking a moment to really listen in a conversation or just appreciating the person you're with. These small steps can make a big difference in our relationships. Finally, Mindfulness is about always learning and growing in how we connect with others. It's about staying present and open, which helps us build stronger, more loving and lasting connections. In the end, being mindful can really change our relationships. It helps us listen better, understand ourselves and others, and communicate more clearly. By using mindfulness, we make every moment we spend with others a chance to grow closer and stronger together. 6. The journey of self-discovery through others. In this part, let's look at a really interesting idea, finding out who we are by looking at our relationships with other people. Every person we meet and every conversation we have is like a mirror that shows us something about ourselves. It's like being on a journey to understand ourselves, and the people around us help guide us on this path. Think about how our relationships reveal what kind of person we are, how we act around others. The things that make us happy or upset can teach us a lot. It's like looking in a mirror. Our friendships and family relationships show us our good points, things we need to work on, and everything else about us. Buddhism says that knowing who we are is a big part of life. By understanding ourselves better, we can grow and improve. The people we know play a big role in this. They challenge us, support us, and help us notice things about ourselves that we might not have seen. Think about the different people in your life, your friends, family, and people you work with. Each person brings out a different side of you. Some might make you feel fun, others caring, and some might push you to be better. It's through all these different relationships that we learn about the many sides of ourselves. It's important to be aware of how we feel in our relationships. Sometimes we might feel really happy or really annoyed with someone. By understanding why we feel this way, we can learn what matters to us, what's important to us, and what we might want to change. Being fully present or mindful helps us on this journey of self-discovery. When we pay attention in our conversations, we can notice our thoughts and reactions. This helps us understand ourselves better. How we talk to others, listen, and even argue can show us a lot about how we communicate. Good communication lets us say what we mean clearly and understand others better. Being able to understand someone else's point of view, or empathy, makes our relationships stronger. It also teaches us about how understanding and caring we can be. Dealing with disagreements and finding solutions teaches us about how we handle conflicts. Every disagreement, even small ones, is a chance to learn how we solve problems. Giving and receiving support in our relationships is also revealing. It shows us how we help others and how we let others help us. This sharing of support is a wonderful part of learning about ourselves. This journey of learning about ourselves through others keeps going every day. Every talk with someone is a chance to learn more about who we are, how we connect with others, and how we can grow. It's a journey full of different experiences, just like the many relationships in our lives. To sum it up, learning about ourselves through other people is a valuable part of our lives. It helps us know ourselves better, grow as people, and make stronger connections. By being open to what our relationships can teach us, we start a journey of personal growth and getting to know ourselves better. 7. Life as a learning journey. Let's dive into the idea that life is a journey full of lessons. In Buddhism, there's a lovely thought that our lives are paths where we learn as we go along. Every person we meet and everything that happens to us is a chance to learn. Think of life as a school where every day is a new class. Imagine walking on a path in a forest. Each corner you turn brings a new view, something different. It's just like in our lives. Every new thing that happens, good or bad, is a chance for us to learn something valuable. This isn't a new idea. It's been part of Buddhist teachings for a very long time. There are stories from long ago about monks who learned important lessons on their travels at every step. Buddha, a great teacher, often talked about seeing life as a series of lessons. He said that everything that happens to us, whether it makes us happy or sad, is an opportunity to grow. This way of thinking helps us find meaning in everything that happens, even the tough times. Think about your own life. Remember times when friends or family helped you or made you see things differently. Everyone we meet has something to teach us, and it's not just people. Even small things that happen every day can be lessons if we pay attention. Buddhism teaches us a lot about change. Life is always changing, and each change teaches us something. When we accept change instead of fighting it, we learn to move with life's flow, like leaves floating on a river. This helps us become stronger and more flexible, and teaches us the beauty of letting go. Taking time to think about what we learn from life is really important. What did you learn from a hard time in your life? How did a happy moment show you the joy of living? Thinking about these things helps us understand ourselves and our lives better. Being mindful, or really paying attention, is also key to learning from life. When we're fully in the moment, we understand and remember things better. It's like when you really listen to someone, you get what they're saying much more clearly. As we live our lives, we learn a lot about ourselves too. How we react to things, what we think, and how we feel in different situations show us who we are. This journey of self-discovery is a big part of learning from life. It helps us grow into smarter, kinder people. Try to see everything every day as a chance to learn something. Be curious about the world, the people you meet, and how you feel and react. This curiosity turns life into an exciting adventure with so many things to learn and discover. So remember, life is a beautiful journey of learning. Every person you meet, every single thing that happens, is part of this journey. Welcome it with an open heart and mind. Think about what you've experienced, learn from it, and let it guide you. Life is not just about where we're going, it's about the knowledge and growth we gain on the way. 8. Spiritual growth and personal development. In this part, we'll talk about growing spiritually and as a person. It's like going on a special journey inside ourselves and in the world around us. This journey is full of chances to learn and change for the better. Buddhism shows us that growing isn't just about being calm inside. It's also about learning who we are and how we can be our best in the world. Every choice we make, every person we talk to, and everything we do helps us grow. It's like walking in a garden where every plant and path can teach us something new. This journey is about getting to know ourselves better and how we can be kinder and more understanding people. Let's think about stories of Buddhist monks. They spent years learning, thinking, and talking to others, getting wiser each day. These aren't just old stories. They're lessons for us too. They show that growing is something we do all the time, with everything we do and everyone we meet. 9. Embracing life's uncertainties. We'll explore a very important part of life, dealing with things that are uncertain and unexpected. Life is full of surprises, changes we didn't see coming, and paths that twist in ways we didn't plan. While this can sometimes feel scary, Buddhism shows us there's good stuff to find in these unknown parts of life. When we start to be okay with not knowing everything, we find strength and calmness in ourselves. Imagine a river flowing. It bends, goes fast and slow, but it always keeps moving. Our lives are a lot like this river. We can't always tell what's going to happen next, but we can learn to go along with life's flow. This way of thinking about life's surprises gives us a feeling of freedom and helps us to adjust to new situations. Buddhism talks a lot about how things always change. Nothing stays the same forever. This might seem a bit worrying at first, but it's actually a reminder to enjoy now and be okay with change. It helps us focus on what's happening at this moment and understand that every situation, whether happy or sad, doesn't last forever. In our everyday lives, we often face changes. Our plans might change, our friendships might grow or change, and sometimes things just don't go as we thought they would. Instead of fighting these changes, we can learn to accept them. Accepting doesn't mean giving up. It means realizing that change is a normal part of life, and it can even bring new chances and experiences. Dealing with things we didn't expect can be tough, but it's also where we learn a lot. Uncertain times teach us about how strong we are, how well we can adjust, and how tough we can be. It's often in these moments that we find out new things about ourselves and understand ourselves better. Uncertainty can make our relationships with others a bit tricky sometimes, but it can also make our connections stronger as we learn to help each other and trust each other through changes. Being okay with uncertainty in our relationships means being ready to grow and change together. Buddha taught that being mindful, or really paying attention to the present moment, is important when we're dealing with uncertainties. When we're mindful, we stay connected to what's happening right now. We notice our thoughts and feelings without judging them and take things step by step. This mindfulness helps us face uncertain times with a calm and clear mind. Being thankful also helps when things are uncertain. When we're grateful for what we have, facing the unknown feels a bit easier. Being thankful brings a positive view, helping us see the good in every situation, even when things are unclear. Having people to talk to, like friends, family, or a community, is really helpful when we're facing changes. Sharing our worries and hopes with others can make facing the unknown less scary. To practice being okay with uncertainty, try to be open to new experiences. Instead of being scared of change, be curious about what it can teach you. Look at each new situation as a chance to learn and grow. In the end, remember that the uncertain parts of life aren't just problems, they're chances for us to learn, to become better, and to find new ways forward. Welcome the twists and turns of life with an open heart and mind. Let these uncertain times be your guide, leading you to strength, flexibility, and inner calmness. 10. Finding meaning in suffering. In this part, we talk about something really important, learning from the hard times in life. Life is beautiful, but it also has its tough moments. Buddhism teaches us that even when things are rough, there's something valuable we can learn. Hard times aren't just something to get through, they can teach us a lot. When we face challenges, it can feel really tough, but there's a hidden gift in these hard times. They show us how strong we can be, how we can keep going, and how amazing people are at getting through tough stuff. It's like a tree that gets stronger in a storm. We too can become stronger through our challenges. The Buddha, who knew a lot about life, said that understanding our hard times is the first step to getting better. This isn't about quick fixes. It's about really getting what we're going through and learning from it. Think about the hard times you've had. Maybe you lost something important, felt really let down, or had to deal with something really difficult. Each of these tough times can teach us something. We might learn to be more patient, to keep hoping, or how important it is to have people who support us. In these hard times, we often find out how strong we really are. Being kind to ourselves when we're hurting is really important. It means treating ourselves as nicely as we would treat a good friend who's in pain. This kindness helps us heal and find the strength to keep going. When we share our struggles with others, it can bring us closer. Talking about what we're going through helps others understand us better. When we share like this, it makes our connections deeper, and we see that we're not the only ones who have hard times. Finding meaning in tough times also means being okay with things changing. Life is always moving and shifting, and sometimes these changes are hard. But if we accept that change is part of life, we can find some calm even when things are hard. Mindfulness, or really being in the moment, is really helpful too. When we're fully in our pain, not trying to run away from it, we can understand it better. This understanding is the first step to turning our suffering into something that can help us grow. Being grateful, even when things are tough, can make a big difference. It helps us see the good parts of life, even when there are hard times. Focusing on what we're thankful for can help us find little bits of happiness and hope, even on the hardest days. Getting help when we're suffering is important too. Talking to friends, family, or people who can give good advice can make us feel better. It shows us that there's always help out there, and we don't have to face tough times alone. Lastly, going through hard times can help us grow spiritually. It often makes us ask big questions and look for deeper meanings. This search can bring us peace and a better understanding of life. To finish, learning from suffering is about growing through the hard times, not just getting past them. It's about finding healing and becoming tougher. Every hard time is a part of our life story, showing us how resilient we are and the amazing strength of people. Let's face our tough times with kindness, staying in the moment and being open to the lessons they have for us. 11. Creating harmonious relationships. In this final part, let's talk about making our relationships with others peaceful and happy. Creating harmony in a relationship is like making a beautiful song where everyone's part blends well. This makes everything feel balanced and nice. Creating harmony starts with really understanding the people around us. It's about knowing what they like, what worries them, and what makes them smile. When we understand someone well, it's easier to get along with them in a peaceful and kind way. Listening is super important for harmony. It's more than just hearing words, it's listening with all our attention. When someone talks to us, we listen with an open heart. This makes people feel important and cared for. It shows we respect them and what they have to say. Buddhism teaches us to be kind and compassionate in how we act with others. Kindness isn't just doing nice things, it's also in the way we talk, our voice tone, and the words we pick. When we're kind, our relationships become smoother and nicer. Respect is a big part of making things harmonious. It means treating others the way we want to be treated. We show respect by how we speak to and about others, acknowledging that everyone is unique and valuable. Being patient is also key. People think and react differently. Having patience means giving others the time to express themselves and understanding when things don't go as expected. Good communication is the base of harmony. This means being clear in what we say and really listening to others. When we disagree, it's about talking things out calmly and finding solutions that make everyone happy. In Buddhism, everything is connected, and this idea helps in creating harmony too. We remember that what we do affects others. Knowing this, we try to act in ways that make our environment peaceful. Forgiving is important for keeping peace. Holding on to anger disturbs harmony. Forgiving means letting go of hard feelings and moving on. It's not about forgetting, it's about choosing to not let anger control us. Being thankful helps make relationships harmonious. When we're grateful for the people in our lives and show it, it makes everything more positive. It helps us remember the good things in our relationships. Lastly, creating harmony is something we do all the time. It's about always using understanding, kindness, respect, patience, and good communication with others. Every time we talk or interact with someone is a chance to add to the harmony in our relationships. To wrap up, making our relationships harmonious means working on them with understanding, respect, and kindness. It's something we keep doing, trying to make every interaction peaceful and happy. By focusing on these things, we can make our relationships like a beautiful song, full of balance, peace, and happiness. As we wrap up our time together, let's look back at the wonderful ideas we've talked about. Each one gives us a clue on how to make our life happier and more full of meaning. We've learned how to see our daily life and the people in it in a new, brighter way. Our talks have shown us that what we think, do, and how we get along with others can really change how we feel and make our days better. Forgiving is important for keeping peace. Holding on to anger disturbs harmony. Forgiving means letting go of hard feelings and moving on. It's not about forgetting. It's about choosing to not let anger control us. Being thankful helps make relationships harmonious. When we're grateful for the people in our lives and show it, it makes everything more positive. It helps us remember the good things in our relationships. Lastly, creating harmony is something we do all the time. It's about always using understanding, kindness, respect, patience, and good communication with others. Every time we talk or interact with someone is a chance to add to the harmony in our relationships. To wrap up, making our relationships harmonious means working on them with understanding, respect, and kindness. It's something we keep doing, trying to make every interaction peaceful and happy. By focusing on these things, we can make our relationships like a beautiful song full of balance, peace, and happiness. As we wrap up our time together, let's look back at the wonderful ideas we've talked about. Each one gives us a clue on how to make our life happier and more full of meaning. We've learned how to see our daily life and the people in it in a new, brighter way. Our talks have shown us that what we think, do, and how we get along with others can really change how we feel and make our days better. We started by understanding that the people we meet aren't just by chance. Everyone teaches us something, maybe about being kind, patient, or even about our own strong points. Life is full of learning, and every person we meet, every tough time we face, is a chance to grow. We talked about how being caring and understanding can make our time with others feel warmer and more friendly. We learned that when life is uncertain or hard, there's always a way to be strong and keep going. In every tough situation, there's something we can learn to make us better. Thank you for joining us on this journey.